Hello, this is Monica Reinagel, and you're listening to The Nutrition Divas, quick and dirty tips for eating well and feeling fabulous. This week, I want to tell you about a surprising link between salt and weight gain. People who eat more salt tend to weigh more, but maybe not for the reasons that you're thinking. Eating a lot of salt can cause your body to retain more water, and that can show up on the scale as extra pounds. But we're not just talking about water weight here. High salt diets appear to be linked to higher body fat, in particular, the kind of fat that accumulates around your middle. There are a few obvious explanations for this. First, just think about what kinds of foods tend to be higher in salt. Snacks, chips, fast food, fried foods, processed foods, and restaurant meals. And it might also surprise you to know that bread is one of the primary sources of sodium in the Western diet. All of these high sodium foods are also relatively high in calories. And not only that, they are notoriously easy to overeat. Bet you can't eat just one. So, if your diet contains a lot of snacks, chips, bread, fried foods, and restaurant meals, you're not only going to be consuming a lot of salt, but probably also a lot more calories, and that could certainly explain the link between sodium and weight. There are some other possible explanations. Taking in more sodium can also increase your appetite, leading you to eat more. Salty foods can also make you thirsty, and that could increase your intake of caloric beverages like soda or beer. That's certainly what they're hoping when they put out those bowls of salty snacks in bars. If high sodium diets are more likely to be high calorie diets, then it's not exactly a mystery why people who eat more salt would also weigh more. But then a 2015 study found that higher sodium intake was linked to higher body weight and larger waist circumference, even when calorie intake was not higher. Now that's a little harder to explain. But some new research suggests that the link between sodium and obesity could also involve the microbiome. And lately, it seems as if all roads lead to the microbiome, doesn't it? High sodium diets also tend to increase blood pressure, of course. And we've always assumed that this has to do with how sodium intake affects water retention and blood volume. But could the change in gut bacteria play a role here? Potentially, yes. Mueller's group found that in mice, anyway, administering a probiotic supplement along with a high sodium diet not only restored the mice's gut flora, it also decreased their blood pressure. And they're currently awaiting approval for a study to test this out in humans. But the preliminary findings certainly suggest that the effect of salt on blood pressure and its effect on gut bacteria are not unrelated. Perhaps blood pressure is yet another in the growing list of bodily functions that turn out to be influenced by the bacteria in our intestines, along with brain chemistry, cholesterol levels, immune function, digestion, hormones, blood sugar metabolism, and weight management. And to think that just a few decades ago, we didn't even suspect that all those little beasties were in there, much less that they were pretty much running the show. Could it be that a probiotic supplement could one day be an effective treatment for high blood pressure in humans? Time will tell, but in the meantime, simply avoiding excessive sodium consumption could help preserve a healthier microbiome. And to the extent that limiting sodium also means limiting our consumption of highly processed, high-calorie junk food, well, so much the better. There's no need to ban the salt shaker entirely. If you simply focus on eating more whole and minimally processed foods, the sodium will probably take care of itself, even if you salt your food to taste. As it happens, that same strategy of eating more whole and minimally processed foods is also a good way to lower your blood pressure and manage your weight. And your gut bacteria could be the link that ties all of this together. As new research on this becomes available, you'll hear about it here. And in the meantime, feel free to send your nutrition questions my way and to connect with me on Facebook. Have you struggled to lose weight or keep it off? Well, I've teamed up with my colleague Brock Armstrong of the Get Fit Guy podcast to create a group coaching program for sustainable weight loss. This is not a diet or exercise program, it's a lifestyle makeover that can help you weigh less without dieting. Our current members are raving about their results, and we're launching a new group in just a couple of weeks. All the details are at wayless.life. And enter the code QDTND to save $50 on the program. That's QDTND, and the details are at wayless.life. That's it for me today. Have a great week, and remember to eat something good for me.